Networking is the word people use when they are talking about connecting computers together so they can share data with each other and all connect to the internet at the same time. Let's take a closer look at the key components that make a simple, easy to set up network. Think of a network as something similar to your body's central nervous system. At the top of a network is a brain that handles all of the traffic coming through, and this is called a router. Now, the brain is connected to a spine that sends signals throughout your network, and to help do this, there's a device called a switch, and it sends signals to all of your computers and devices via network cables. Now let's check out each of the components of a wired network in more detail. We'll start with the router. A router has a small little computer inside, and it identifies all of the computers and devices on your network and assigns a unique number to each one. Now, techie people call this an IP address. A router also connects to the internet outside your home via a modem that is usually provided by your DSL or cable internet provider. A router is always working, managing tons and tons of information to your computers and devices, and it sends and receives all this information. And it is controlling which computers and devices get what information and when. So how does a router send information from the internet to your computers and devices? How does it enable your computers to share information with each other? Well, the answer lies with that device we mentioned earlier, the switch. A switch sends traffic through your network to the places it needs to go. Now, every router has a switch with usually 4 ports built into it. You can also get wireless routers that use radio signals to do the same thing as a switch, but they still will typically have 4 ports built into them. So you can use wires with them too. Now, when you're buying a router for your wireless network, pay close attention to the speed of the built-in switch. The fastest switches are called gigabit, and they're perfect for streaming video in your home. Meanwhile, other routers with switches are called fast Ethernet, and they are great for essential tasks like web surfing, email, online gaming, etc. Say you have more than 4 items you would like to plug into a router and you need more ports. The solution is easy. You'll need an additional switch, which is the thing that is already built into your router. In this case, you just need a switch and not another router. Because your network doesn't need 2 brains, does it? Now you can get switches with as few as 5 ports, and you can get some that feature 24 ports or more. Now once again, if you need the fastest speeds, go for a gigabyte switch. Your router will recognize these connections and start sending data to them right away. One more thing to keep in mind. Some people often confuse a switch with a hub, which is pretty much now obsolete. Hubs were replaced by switches because switches do the same thing with more speed and smarts. So, a router, a switch, and network cables all come together to create a fast and reliable wired network. That works a lot like your body's nervous system.